What about the new West cats like Bishop Lamont, Glasses Malone, Crooked Eye, and them?
Well, I mean, I respect that shit. You know what I'm saying? As far as, because, I mean, I heard a lot of cats, saying that, that they get me props on the radio or in a magazine somewhere or something and shit. But as far as, I ain't really been able to actually listen to none of their music because I've been too busy trying to see what my shit is going to sound like. You know what I'm saying? I'm too busy. I mean, that's the problem we got right now. It's everybody riding around listening to their own music instead of listening to, the motherfuckers who really put the shit out or whatever. So it's kind of hard, man. But, I got my certain respect for certain MCs, certain rappers and shit because they got skills. And, if they ain't got no skills, I just look at them like they're more of a businessman than a recording artist. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
you and the Dog Pound have always had a good relationship, right?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. Me and Daz and Corrupt, and, we always been cool. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never had no problem with them cats, man. We always been good with each other and shit.
What made you want to put Daz on the first song that you put out?
Oh, that's my homie, you know what I'm saying? So, we all go back so far, man. He just happened to be in the studio I was at, and, he heard the song and was like, man, let me get on that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, it wasn't like, I had to go find him or nothing. We was in the studio, and he heard that shit and was like, man, I'm hopping on that shit. That shit is clean. That's tight. I'm fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's how that's how we should be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It should just be like that. But it's a lot of West Coast rappers don't get along and shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't get on each other's songs and it be all kind of bullshit going on in between it. But shit, man.
There was supposed to be a Spice One and J.O. Felony album, but it never came out properly. What's the status on that?
Shit, man. To tell the truth, there's so many pirates out here. A lot of this shit just be coming out, and we don't be knowing who the fuck did that, half that shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it came out, and there was some other MCs on it. Y'all was only on a few songs, and it wasn't really sounding right.
Yeah, that shit was private. Some pirates did that shit. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucking, what's the pirate name and shit? Some pirates did that shit, man. I don't know who the hell put that shit out, man. Blackbeard did that one. Blackbeard put that shit out. We don't know who the fuck. You know what I'm saying? We do songs and we get paid to do songs and they just end up floating all around this motherfucker,
Yeah. How would you compare, the last years as an independent compared to when you were with Jive?
Well, at least I know where my money going. You know what I'm saying? If I lose 20 or 30,000, at least I know how I lost it and where and what happened and where it happened at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of being so suspicious of somebody else, thinking that they, stole some money from me or some shit like that, and it really ain't true or whatever and shit. It's just good to know where money's going, and it's good to actually be responsible for your own career and have your destiny in your own hands, opposed to somebody else controlling what you put out, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
What your music sound like and all of that shit. My destiny's in my own hands. I'm controlling everything. I'm saying what single we drop. It's up to me. You know what I'm saying? And I go by my fans. I don't just go by what I think about. I let my fans hear it and let everybody I know hear it, and then I take it from there.
Right. And about the new album. What's the concept behind it? Like, what are you trying to, talk about on this record? Is it just, you said it's just raw and cut gangster shit, right?
Yeah, but it's entertaining. It's comical, it's gangster shit. It's like a Fridays on wax. You know what I'm saying? It's comedy, it's gangster shit at the same time. The name of it is Home Street Home, and it's just like saying, you never know what's gonna happen when you out there on them streets. Especially if that's your home where you roam at is the streets, and you never know what's gonna happen out there. It's a jungle, it's a concrete jungle out there, motherfucker. It's a jungle, it's just made out of concrete, man. It's gorillas out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean, I got one song on the album called Gorilla Shit, and that's talking about, you know, gorillas out here in the concrete jungle, you know, with banana clips, bandanas, and banana clips, and you know what I'm saying, swinging from purple trees and shit, you know. I mean, it's a lot of shit going on out in this motherfucker. This is the concrete jungle, man. So, like I say, this is home street home.
All right. And you know, you're a vet in the game. You know, a veteran. Did you ever think of hanging up the mic?
Yeah. No, well, I ain't gonna never say I ever thought about hanging up the mic because, you know, I'm a natural artist. So that's like asking a painter to stop painting. You know, no matter how old you get, you'll never stop painting. You know what I'm saying? You could be 80 years old and still drawing and painting stuff as long as your hands work, you know?
Yeah.
But getting shot in the lung kind of, you know, as far as me doing shows and spitting out loud or whatever, it takes wind to stand on the stage and spit like that. It takes your wind.
Right.
You got to have some strong lungs to be doing all of that shit. So, I mean, you know, that was, you know, if my lungs didn't heal up, then that would have became a factor in my life, actually not being able to get on stage and spit it or go into the studio and spit the shit the right way because I can't keep my breath trained and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, my mind is mentally prepared to handle my business, then I gotta keep on going. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I'm still young, I'm still pretty. Shit, you know, I mean, I was telling motherfuckers on the stage last time, the first time I hit the stage after I got shot, I just started telling everybody, I was like, shit, I'm the only motherfucker get shot in the face and still be pretty. So, I mean, you know, shit, it actually ricocheted off my chin and went through my chest and went through my lung and bounced into my muscle in my back. So I still got the bullet in my back and shit. And, you know, wrote a few raps about that shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you stop rapping one day, what would Spice One be doing?
Probably writing movies. Because I got a hell of an imagination, you know. I'm probably writing and directing some movies, trying to do the Spike Lee thing and shit, you know.
Alright.
I mean, it really ain't too much for me to do as far as, you know, stock work or some shit like that. You know, I mean, I got 6 prior gun cases, man. It ain't no where I'm gonna get hired. I got bullet wounds, stab wounds and shit, tattoos, gun cases and all kind of other cases to go with that shit. So as far as me getting a job somewhere, that's a wrap. So that ain't gonna happen.
Alright.
I'll be in the entertainment industry the rest of my life. I know that.
Okay. And looking back at your career, what's your favorite album of yours and why?
Out of my career, my favorite album is well, actually my first one. And I know it was banging, everybody loved this shit, but it has more of a sentimental value to me because, you know, I was like, man, I didn't have shit. I wasn't doing nothing. I didn't know what I was gonna do with my life. You know what I'm saying? And the you know, the rap game just swallowed me whole. You know what I'm saying? And took me up under a wing and shit, and you know, showed me the world and shit. Just from that one album and that one song, you know, I learned a lot, met a lot of people, and you know, a lot of people respect that album and all of that shit. And it's just more sentimental when it comes to that first album than it is with the rest of them because, you know, I didn't have shit and I never thought I was gonna be nothing until my fans proved me otherwise. That's why I love my fans so much and the people that buy my music because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't really be nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I'd probably just be still on the block doing what I do. But, you know, somebody decided to say, man, you know, this new Spice One is the shit. And I'm going to tell everybody. I'm going to tell Mary, and Mary going to tell John, and John going to tell Mike. And you know what I'm saying? And word of mouth got around, and Spice One was the shit. And next thing you know, I know what the rest of my life is going to be. You know, I'm going to be an entertainer. So, you know, that first album was, you know, something that let me know that and shit. And it kept me going to keep me doing other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Alright. How'd you feel when Nas said your name on that, you know, Where Are They Now track?
Shit, shit, man, I didn't know what to think. I mean, as far as, I mean, because I'm from Hayward, you know what I'm saying? And this fool's all the way out here in Queens, New York, and he like, you know, saying my name in his music, and I never met him before in my life, and it's actually Nas, it being Nas, you know, I didn't, you know, I was overwhelmed with that shit, man, because you never know who's listening, you know what I'm saying? Right. You never know who's listening to your music and shit. You could be anybody, you know, like, you know, I didn't know that Shaquille O'Neal listened to my music. I didn't know that what's Bob Marley's son name?
Oh, you got a Damian Marley?
Yeah, I didn't know that all of these cats like that listen to my music and shit. And as far as, you know, I mean, my music was strong enough for Wyclef to see me in a club and actually get on his knees and bow down like Spike and shit, you know. and my music was strong enough for me to pull over Jamie Foxx's limo in the rain and him to hop out of the limo and take pictures with me in the rain. You know what I'm saying? While in the middle, while he's doing Ray, while you're doing that movie with about Ray.
Yeah.
Right, with Ray Charles, in the middle of doing that movie, I mean, that let me know how strong my music was, and, you know, shit, and that was like that was all probably from the first album that they ever had, you know. R. Kelly know me from that album, Mary J. Blige, I mean, like a lot of big artists respect that album. I was talking to Halle Berry, and she liked one song on that first album. I can't remember, but I mean, that right there, all of that shit is just like, man, like, you know, it's overwhelming to hear people talk about your music like that. You never met them before, and they just as famous as you are, and they starstruck, and you starstruck. You know, Pac knew all of the songs off the first album and stuff. He knew the words to them and shit, and you know what I mean? So, I mean, shit, everybody was on that album, shit.
Do you think the game would be different if Pac was still around?
Well, yeah, I do, but depending on, I mean, because I mean, shit, he I don't know if he by himself could have stopped all of this bullshit that's going on in the industry. It would have had to take a few more cats, him being one and a few other, you know, me, Scarface, Ice Cube, you know, it probably would take, you know, we would have to have a team of me, Tupac, Scarface, Ice Cube, and Dr. Dre on the tracks to actually stop the whole bullshit that's you know what I'm saying, to actually put a sock in the mouths of these whack-ass MCs and these whack-ass motherfuckers out here trying to just making money off the music and never really gave a fuck what it was really about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, because it's like, you know, we never knew what, you know, we wasn't around at the times of Malcolm X and at the time of Martin Luther King and all of that shit. You know, we was youngsters. We didn't actually know what that meant, what they did for us. We didn't have no idea what they did for us. We just knew that they was famous people and they was black leaders. That's all we knew.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As youngsters, and nowadays, it's hard for these little niggas to actually respect what we've done for them, opposed to them, you know, us taking the blows from the major labels, fucking us out of our money, so them in turn would know what deal to sign and what not to do and what to do and how, you know, don't sign an artist deal, get a publishing deal and all of that. We took them blows for them to even have that knowledge to whether to take a publishing deal instead of an artist deal or we took them blows for them and they don't respect that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, and it would be a different game if Pac was around and we actually did something about it. But it's too much money involved into the industry now that it's the industry is so tainted by money that the very core of the music is being threatened because it's tainted by too much money and shit, you know. So niggas like me, I just sit up here and keep it real, rap my real shit, and keep the shit gangster, whatever, or, you know, whatever they want to call it and shit. And Because, I mean, shit, there ain't really nothing you could do but put out real music against that phony ass shit that's out there.